patient is how that whole routine is going to go about what's happening with their progress during their treatment in the hospital. So those looking at their surgeries, as far as what the patient is going to have, that's going to be important for the individual surgery. Overall, yes, but overall you're looking at the things you do for patients globally when you talk about having surgery. Okay. But the major orthopedic stuff, because you know we talked about a lot of different stuff. Arthritises, because those are the things that happen most often. Now the thing, there are not things that put people in the hospital usually, but they happen a lot. So knowing the difference between rheumatoid and osteo, okay, because there are different pathology that happens. Rheumatoid is autoimmune, osteo is wearing away. So osteo usually happens on weight-bearing joints, so that's knees, hips, where you're going to see it most often. Rheumatoid arthritis can happen anywhere, okay, because you're thinking about it's an autoimmune kind of thing that's going on, okay? Because those are things that sound, when you look at them, they sound similar, because gout's going to be in that, when you start putting it in a box or kind of put them together, gout looks the same way, but the underlying pathology is a little bit different, because we know that has to do with uric acid that's going on with this patient. Okay, we had lupus that sometimes presents with arthritis type symptoms. Different, it's autoimmune in nature as well, but different pathology that happens with your patient. So those are kind of things when you think about how you figure out which one of those things the patient has. Just think about rheumatoid is a systemic disease as well as lupus. That's one going to be the systemic part. Remember, lupus existed as two types: discoid, which was skin, or the systemic type. You have to look at systemic. And one of the things that when you look at your handouts for today, there is one on lupus, there is one on osteoporosis, there's one that talks about fractures, there's something that talks about immobility, there's a little box in one of them that talks about the medications, because you'll see the medications are the same for most of the stuff that we do with mobility issues. So I tried to copy the pages that were germane to what we're looking at as far as the content for the ortho and musculoskeletal side. Okay. Now the other thing that's on there, even though you talked about, we did bone stuff over here, they talked about strains, sprains, and all that kind of stuff. I asked you questions on that. I'm just saying, it's crazy. Right? All that kind of stuff never puts anybody in the hospital. Sprains, strains, tendinitis, all that kind of stuff. There are conditions that happen with the musculature, but they're not things that put people in hospitals. They really are not. The biggest stuff you have with musculoskeletal stuff would be, you know, like the fibromyalgias, that kind of stuff that go on. And those generally don't put people in the hospital either. But fibromyalgia is usually that, kind of like lupus in the regard that you test people for everything else, and when there's no organic reason, then they make that diagnosis of fibromyalgia. And what they end up doing is a generalized muscle pain kind of thing that people have on. But there's no physical, when you look at diagnostics kind of thing, there's no physical thing that tells you a patient has fibromyalgia. They look at the history of what's going on with the patient, and then they start treating them symptomatically. And of course now we're seeing that a lot of fibromyalgia patients are being treated not only for the inflammatory kind of issues that go on in pain management with antidepressants, because that's what we're seeing that actually is working. And part of the things that you look at when you're looking, especially with patients who have chronic pain, is look at dosing. How you can tell when somebody has something for chronic pain versus for the issue that that medication was originally approved for is because of dosing. The doses for chronic pain or neuralgia symptoms and that kind of stuff is way higher than it would be if a patient had organic issue. Because like a patient has seizures, Neurontin was approved for treatment of seizures, and what they found out is it treats chronic pain. A neuralgia patient has seizures generally takes anywhere between 300 and 900 milligrams a day, whereas a chronic pain patient takes as much as 4,000. So just looking at the dosages can tell you why a patient is taking a particular drug. But they do work. The issue that you have to worry about, of course, is that some of the side effects that go along with those SSRIs and those types of things have to do with suicide risk and that kind of thing. Because Neurontin is one of those, a big one as far as suicide risk. Patients tell you that they want to jump out of windows and all this kind of stuff, change their meds. That's what you end up doing. It's funny because that's one of the things that the drug company wants you to take instead of Lyrica. Now Lyrica does it too. You still have people that have suicide ideations there, but it's far less than what Neurontin. But they always want you to go back to it because it's cheaper. Right? But Lyrica works the same way. But you'll see people taking those types of things. But it's most of the things that have to do with orthopedics will be looking at neurovascular status, making sure that you can control pain. Because if you don't control pain, mobility is not going to happen. Patient ain't going to get up and move when they're hurting, right? Because do you want to get up and move when you're hurting? You know you need to move, and you just sit there and go like, I'm just going to die right here, kind of thing. And then you cough bad enough till you have to get up and go get some water so you get up. I was doing that on Saturday. I swear to God, I must have ruptured in my solar plexus because I had so much pain. It took me to my knees. And I was like, I need to go to the hospital. And I said, oh Lord, I'm going to die in the hospital. Because I don't have patients. I have students that have infection. So I don't want to go to the emergency. I felt so bad Saturday. It was ridiculous. But I said, oh no. So I ended up going, I went to the walking clinic. Because I had already gone to the doctor on Friday. And so I'm going to be a real one to go back to the doctor again on Saturday. It makes no sense. But I had so much pain, I knew it would. But anyway, life goes on. But that's the thing, when you're talking about musculoskeletal stuff, it's going to be pain management, getting whatever is their pathology, underlying pathology under control. From that, you want to make sure that patients don't end up with chronic disorders. That's the thing you try to prevent. So we'll be focusing on making sure they understand exercises, prevention, strategies, and those types of things that go along with whatever condition that they have. So like low back pain, if they strengthen the core, use protective devices to help you move things, and then actually get the number of people you need to help you move. That's probably the hardest part in working in the area that we work in. You just want to get it done sometimes, and you know it's not quite the greatest thing to do, trying to move a 400-pound patient with somebody else, but you try to do it. And then you think, oh my God, what was I thinking after the fact? But that's not ever what you want to do. Make sure you have adequate help to help you move patients around. Because that's what helps you in the long run. Y'all want to take a short break because I feel my voice is like leaving.